really need to get a new gig. If I have to train one more whiny, rappy-brained recruit again today, I'd just rather throw myself to the Hildebears. Please tell me that I'm here to train some hot Newman chick. Just one time. Just one time. Ah, cripes, it's you.
Hi, Karik. How's it hanging?
Hello, Ash. And I'm a cast. No part of me hangs anywhere. I don't suppose you're here to tell me that you have a different trainer.
Nope. The principal was so impressed with how you protected me on that first mission that he insisted that we pair up from now on.
That's just great. Are you finally able to open security doors on your own?
Think so. It's kind of hard to say, actually, since I spent most of my time last mission sprawled unconscious behind a laser fence and surrounded by mutant dogs.
Right.
Good thing you and that other hunter came along. You guys really know your stuff.
Yes, well, about that. It looks like today's training won't be in the field. We're going to go over section IDs together.
Really? I just make all my characters Redria.
That's because you're dumb. If you ignore the other section IDs, then you're really missing out. Every one of them is multiple applications that could benefit a wide range of classes. Plus, there's other factors that don't have anything to do with weapon availability at all. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. Here, let's watch the first part of the holovid.
Will there be rappies?
Shut up and let me boot this up.
Online access granted. Hunter Karik. This is Professional, Endlessly Reliable, Fully Educational Cyber Tutor, or Perfect. Please enter your subject of inquiry.
Okay, here we go.
You have chosen Sexy Uniworlds.
Sweet!
God, stupid autocomplete.
Aw.
You have chosen Section IDs.
That's better.
Well, I know what I'm watching tonight.
Section IDs are assigned to each hunter at the moment of character creation. There are 10 different varieties, and they are stamped directly to your uniform because they look cool and they give something for hunters to argue about.
There's really no argument. Redria is the best.
Section IDs are assigned to you based on your character's name. As you can see from this chart, every individual letter or symbol in your name, including spaces, is assigned a number between 0 and 9. Also note that capital and small case letters have different values even if it's the same letter, so be sure to not mix them up if you're doing this math by hand.
What's math?
That thing I used to fail you at the end of the semester.
All those single numbers derived from the letter and symbols in your name are added together, and the last number of that total result determines which section ID you're assigned to. Here is the chart that tells you the corresponding section IDs. So, let's make an example character with the name of Hunter, with a capital H. Here you can see the calculations. Hunter is a Viridia.
Poor guy.
One interesting trick to note is that if you want a particular section ID, adding some blank spaces allows you to cycle through half of them, since spaces count as 2 points, but they won't make your name look any different on the display. Using our same example, by adding different numbers of spaces, Hunter here can become a Skyly, Purplenum, Redria,
Yay.
or Yellowbows instead. Using that same methodology, adding a symbol with an odd number value on the chart will allow you access to the other IDs, along with using spaces just like before.
Okay, I think I've got the idea.
For those of you who don't want to bother with the calculations yourself, there are resources online that I will link in the description below that will do the calculations for you. Just be sure to use the right calculator, as this formula refers to Phantasy Star Online Episodes 1 and 2. Blueburst and Episode 3 card battle IDs are calculated differently. End of Part 1.
Well, alright, but we're not having a test on all that math stuff later, are we?
No, just download a calculator and you'll be fine. It's just good to know how it works, so you can manipulate the results if you want.
Right, so you can get the better IDs like Redria and avoid the worse IDs like Bluefall. I mean, it looks good on you, though.
There's nothing wrong with Bluefall. Unfortunately, you exhibit what I commonly refer to as someone with casual knowledge. Someone who has grown up being told an oversimplified version of what ID drops the best equipment, when in fact, there are a variety of fun class and ID combinations to play as.
Yeah, well, we haven't even got to the drop charts yet. You have to admit that some IDs are better for certain types of hunters.
Well, no argument there. Let's continue on.
Section IDs, Part 2. The most obvious result involving the choice of your ID is the difference in equipment that you obtain from monsters that you defeat. Each monster in Phantasy Star Online has one specific rare and powerful item that may drop if you're lucky enough. The monster you defeat, plus the game's level of difficulty, plus your section ID, equals the rare item you might find. But note that the probabilities for each item are different as well. In this case, Purplenums hunting Merlins have a 1 in 900 chance of finding a spread needle each time they kill one. Using a second example, defeating a Grand Sorcerer, again on ultimate difficulty, as a Greenhill, might get you a Psycho Wand, arguably one of the most powerful force weapons in the game, but only at a chance of roughly 1 in 300,000. Understandably, the most powerful weapons are usually more difficult to find, and may take many days, if not years, to find them, if you ever see them at all.
I told you there'd be rappies.
You were actually right about that one.
Ultimately, because the drop charts for each section ID are unique, some are better suited for some classes than others. Here we will explore each ID via musical montage.
Musical montage! Hey, wait a moment. What was all that junk about Yellowbows being the best ID?
It's not the best ID, it's just the most balanced one. Anyone can use it and find most of what they need.
But Perfect just said it was excellent on everything.
It's more nuanced than that. Look, I know some people are very passionate about their choice of IDs, and that's fine. Eventually, we'll spotlight each section ID so we can look at them in greater detail, right down to the entire drop charts. But that's for another day.
I'm so triggered right now.
Alright then, we're basically done for today. Just note before you go that section IDs also have a couple more effects that are a little more subtle.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Different IDs tend to find different map configurations when hunting in the field, even in the same areas. Also, it affects what techers you use and how well they tend to tech certain equipment, but teching is also a subject for later.
Is that all for now, Karik? Because I think my brain is full.
I sincerely doubt that.
You just keep pushing me, you overgrown tin can.
Yeah,
Someday I'm going to be the most
flapping
powerful
that
hunter
big
of all
mouth of
time.
yours.
Redry is
I
the
bet
best,
some
and I'm the
hunter is
best.
going to have
I'll
to
prove
see
it to
if
you
you're
all,
paying
and then
it
we'll see
again when I
who's
take
running.
this weapon of mine and introduce it to you.